Yes, live from the nation's capital, Ottawa, just having a coffee break from the truckers, noise making truckers on the streets in the nation's capital. Yes, these are white collar criminals purportedly disguised as truck protesters. Yes, looking for the balls of my black-faced brother from another mother, Prime Minister Trudeau. Just the indication of that alone is an indictment of a criminal act. If it was any other person or members of the purported white fraternity, privilege, white collar criminals. This is a duplication and imitation of what happened in America under Donald Trump, when the wrong wingers, the so-called Republicans and conservatives, we are looking for the balls of the vice president and the secretary of the House, the Republican lady. This is just showing the backside of white fraternities, be it legal or whatever, how they are protected to use and abuse the system. Yes, Ottawa's mayhem has nothing to do with Prime Minister Trudeau. The conservative unballs the balls of O'Toole because O'Toole was not speaking their so-called hard talk or not having a stand during Trudeau's stand against the snowboarders who were tormented from just masquerading between America and Canada at the peak of the COVID. Many of them had now disguised themselves into truckers. Now imagine if it was any other person but white privileged capital fraternities who are protected not just by the law enforcement, not just protected by the legal institution, not just protected by the prison institution, but they are protected by wrong-wingers, conservative, high-power Christian fraternities, where we have pastors that feed from hate. I don't believe in any race or racism because those were created in Buckingham and the Catholic mission in Italy during those dark days of humanity, and it is still continuing. And lest we forget that 99.9% of the proclaimed Eurocentric people who deem themselves to be white are bystanders because they are feeding from the hate mongering of white supremacy, or feeling better or not of our class. For those of us who sound and look like me, I don't know where you were born or where you claim to be born or who you are. When you decide to join these groups in the name of the right to medical treatment, we don't want to be vexed or vaxxed or vexed. Those are not the issue, because at the end of the day, the wrong wingers are going to equally roast your balls. So to the law enforcement officers in Ottawa and in Canada, it's really a shame that they allow these pretenders to invade our nation's capital looking for our Prime Minister's balls. And bravo to the Prime Minister and his Liberal government for not getting into the mix of that cuckoo-headedness, because law enforcement is in place. We have the Canadian Intelligence Services, the RCMP, the Provincial Police, in the municipal police. At least Doug Ford and his government saw what happened, or the law enforcement in Ontario saw what happened. And what did they do? They marshaled them out from the streets of Toronto, from the backside of Queen's Park. I am one that believes, yes, in the right to demonstrate. But we know, remember the Rom 11 demonstrators in Toronto? Remember Black Panthers, as we remember to remember in celebration of African History Month, our stories. But lest we forget our host in this white proclaimed land away from home, Canada, on native lands. How many indigenous people have not been imprisoned or used and abused when they demonstrate? Think.